Moose is in the house. Moose is in the house. Watch out. Watch out. Here's Moosey.
Hey, what's good, everyone? You're doing okay? It's wet as hell. I just got back from the gym, had a little shower, and so, instead of looking like a greasy, grimy gopher gut guy, we're just wearing a hat. I'm allowed. Excuse me. Anyway, hope everyone's doing okay. I hope you all said hi to your mother for me today. Uh, hanging out. We are of the Monster Rancher Battle League, or the DXBL, rather, the DX Battle League Season 4. We had too many ranked monsters, so we had to split it up into two tournaments, and we are going to do two tournaments. We did one on Monday, we're doing one now, and then we're doing one tomorrow. Tomorrow will be our final playoff week of the Monster Rancher, I keep saying Monster Rancher Battle League, of the DXBL, the DX Battle League. We're going to be chilling tonight, we're going to be chilling tomorrow, and then nothing but finals after that. So pretty exciting. We're getting down to the end of it. I don't think the bracket's been updated. Helps if I reset my commands real quick. There we go. Thank you for that. It's now been updated. Expand the message. There we go. Cool. So yeah, we're done on that. Thank you guys for letting me know. So brand new tournament, not what we saw last week. Same format though. Heavyweight is 3,500 total stat cap. That is like the highest we usually go in terms of stat caps for the Monster Rancher Battle League. Also, my camera's super high. It makes me look like a very short boy. There we go. I look like an average boy. We're going to get right into it because, I had a good day today. Hung out with the family. Had the day off, which was super nice. I got tomorrow off as well, too, which is real nice because I get to do a little bit of video editing and, not stress too much about work, obviously. If I don't have to go into work, it's easy not to stress about it. Got a fun Monster Hunter 3 video coming in a day or two, probably tomorrow. And then a Pokemon Champions thing I put together. I really wish I could have got it out sooner. I got like half of it done and then had to work like ungodly hours for like 8 days in a row after that. And then by the time I finally had any time off, I'm like, I don't want to do any video editing. And then now it's been like a week and a bit since the last, almost 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Has it been a month? I don't know. It's been a long time. Anyway. Clawlobber and his Saradon up first. I'm getting right into it. No, just meat and potatoes tournament today. Because, yeah, I spent some time with the family. We went to Asian Heritage Month festival thing with... Is that how it's... SR. We had a bunch of food options and crafts stands and stuff like that. It's super fun. I ate a little bit too much, even though I like distinctly was like, I'm not going to eat too much. And I like ordered what I thought was going to be adequate, but like not enough food on purpose. And it still ended up being too much food. But yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good in the weight loss. I'm about, right now, I just weighed myself as I was getting out of the shower. I'm technically at this moment like 6 pounds over where I need to be, but a lot of that is like water weight and food, and you know, that goes away pretty quickly. I think like an actual weight, I probably have to lose like 3 pounds. That's probably likely 3.5. This morning, I weighed in at 168.8, which is 3.8 pounds over what I need to be. So I'm thinking 168, 169 is roughly where I am. So 3-4 pounds. Still got like 3 weeks to lose the weight, so obviously very doable. But I think the goal is to be like, to get like kind of like way below the weight. And then in the week leading up to the fight, just kind of like normalize my eating and like my diet and all that. So I'm not, so I have like additional energy for the fight. So the goal might be to hit like diet pretty hard and hit like 163, 162. And then I've got like a little bit of leeway, you know? But yeah, if I want to just like really, really cut it close, I only need to lose 4 pounds. Very miscentric match here, yeah. I was already not paying attention. I was reading chat and I missed game one. Not a good start, but I promise we will be paying a little bit more attention as things go on. That's a 2-0? Okay. Thank you. I'm going to make mental notes after every match. We're not gonna have a repeat of Monday. Monday was fun though. A lot of fun convo and chat. Just not a lot of like actually paying attention to what was going on. Bat and Bug and Mr. Sandman. But, you know, you could argue that the Monster Rancher is the second most important thing on the Monster Rancher stream. Some days, at least. It's so funny how every now and then we get some random who's like, I'm going to hold my own Monster Rancher tournaments because I watch these other guys run tournaments and they're not even paying attention. The least they could do is, you know, be good hosts and do good play-by-play and this and that. And it's like... Sure, but nothing's stopping you, brother. And then they never do. And it's like, oh, uh-oh. It seems like being entertaining for people is a little bit more harder than it sounds. Not always. Sometimes it's super easy. But it's more of a vibe and a stream-by-stream basis type of thing. But yeah, no, that's the thing though, is that it's always somebody who has never like participated in anything, who's like, these guys suck at streaming. I'm gonna make my own Monster Rancher stream with blackjack and hookers, and it's like no one's stopping you. That sounds like a great idea. We could always use more tournament hosts, and then they just crash out and never do it. We get the kamikaze. We're going to game 3. Fact of the matter is, like, when I started, and this isn't like, you know, to throw anyone under the bus, I felt like my experience doing commentary and things like that could lead to me having a successful stream within, you know, the realm of Monster Rancher, because I could bring something to the scene that, you know, not a ton of people were doing at the moment. And that was true, but I didn't like make a big deal about it. I didn't like throw anyone under the bus to say it. And then, you know, turns out I was right. But you gotta actually do the thing and not just criticize the thing. This is a place for blackjack and hookers? First I'm hearing of it. It's very easy to criticize the thing. Hisoka and Metal Lamer up next. Rib for the stream out of the way early. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty low key. I don't even remember his name. I never remember their names. I've had people be like on Twitter, or like back when I was on Twitter like a couple years ago, just like crashing out about something I said on Discord, but like they can never remember exactly what it is that I said on Discord, and it's just kind of like, oh, like you watch this guy, like he's an asshole, yada yada yada. We had a conversation in Discord, and he was a huge dick to me, and it's like that's totally possible. Like I know what I'm capable of in terms of being mean, but were you just being a loser and I said something about it, or? But it's like I never remember these guys. Which is crazy because like I'm not even a big streamer. It's a very insular community. So imagine what like actual streamers feel like when there's people like, yeah, this asshole said this thing to me one time, and it's like their Discord probably got like 10,000 messages the day you said that. Like they don't remember you. Leave out the part where they're being a doofus. My favorite part of like any big streamer, anytime anyone's like arguing with a big streamer or whatever, is they're always like, yeah, I got banned just for asking questions, or I got banned and like they didn't give me a good reason or whatever. And it's like, yeah, they don't need to, man. If the vibes are off, you're not allowed to the party. Like that. That's all there is to it. Like you gotta be a good guest. Ooh, it's okay. I'm gonna take it. Like if you're making everyone uncomfortable, like the host can ask you to leave. You're gonna call the cops. Imagine if people did that on Twitter. Like what would the equivalent even be in real life? I guess even just on Twitter, where it's like if they got kicked out of a party the same way they got kicked out of like a Discord or whatever. They're like, I got kicked out, and all I was doing was making people uncomfortable and asking questions that, like, you know, they didn't want to answer. And it's like, okay, they made you leave the function because of that? That sounds legit, and you sound like a freak. The Discord's the same way. I haven't had to, like, knock too many people out of the Discord. I think it's only been, like, 2 or 3, which is not too bad for, like, 1,200 people or however many people we have in the Discord right now. Spend more time than I should on Reddit. I'll come across quite a few memes about mods where you look inside, someone's just asking questions in a woke sub. Yeah, of course. Dude, the shit on Blue Sky right now is so funny. Where there's this whole thing where I think it was the head of health and safety or whatever on Blue Sky got caught liking and like accidentally retweeting like porn tweets. Or like whatever posts, I guess they're not tweets, but anybody who mentions it gets like automatically banned for 3 days as targeted harassment, and it's so fucking funny. Like it's the most mod behavior I've ever heard in my life. Like, not really beating the allegations that you guys don't have friends. It's so funny. It's like that's what I would expect from like a Something Awful like sub forum, or like the Ultimate Guitar forum in like 2008 or some shit. Like not head of health and safety for a major with like a big asterisk beside it, I suppose. Social media platform. Fabergé ego, yeah. And so many of the mods on there are so funny, man, because they're just like they're mods. They're like Reddit mods. They're forum mods, and they are just completely antagonistic to like the entire user base, and they're constantly fighting with the user base. And it's like, you should just like hire PR. Like, you guys don't need to be doing this. If it's so like frustrating to deal with users who like when you implement something and users are like, this sucks, and then you're like, yeah, actually you suck. It's like, bro, this can't be good for your mental. Like, tell me how you really feel, but also, you know, take a break. Do some jumping jacks. I don't know, man. There's got to be a better use of your time. They think they're PR, yeah. But, like, they're not good. Just think about the post in which they suggest replacements to Discord and Blue Sky, and it's so unserious. I didn't even see. I don't know. I love it. I've like barely posted anything on any social media in the last couple days. It's been nice. It's one of those things that's like so frustrating to hear, the whole like get off social media bit. It's like the go for a walk if you're depressed thing. Like it's not going to cure your depression, but it probably will make you feel better. And it sucks to hear that because like depression's a real problem. And it's not cured by going for a walk. So it's easy to be like oppositional to the idea that like exercise will make you feel better because you're like, no, it's deeper than that. And yeah, you're right. But also, you know, the truth lies somewhere in the middle. And getting off from social media is kind of the same thing because it sounds so smug and like obnoxious to hear someone say like, I spend less time on social media and I'm happier. But like, they're probably not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. I got no reason to. I don't have like a short on the blue sky ticker. Like I'm not hoping it fails. Cured by self-care? Oh, well, sometimes drugs too. No, wait, Pepsi chat is better than Discord? You guys remember, was it Coke Hotel? That was like, it was like a Coke Music, that's what it was. It was like a Habbo Hotel, but ran by Coke in like 2003. Was I like the only Coke Music enjoyer? It looked exactly like Habbo Hotel. And by user, I think I signed up for it and was like, oh, I get to make a cool little 8-bit avatar, and then I never used it again. I don't think you could do anything on it. Only one winner and one loser can come from this match, no more, no less. You're spitting facts. Unless they hit like 1,000 ties in a row, in which case we're the losers. So I suppose that's still right. The game will be the winner and we'll be the losers. It's still one winner, one loser. I'm wearing ankle weights right now. I got these ankle weights online. I've just been doing like leg raises this entire stream. I'll probably be doing them for the rest of the stream. Never seen the ancient dog armor before? He's chilling. He's got a little mustache. We're going to game 3, so you get to see a little bit more of him. But yeah, I bought these ankle weights, and I wanted something that was like pretty heavy, so I bought ones that do up to 10 pounds per leg, which is, you know, pretty intense. But of course, the heavy weights are bulkier, and it's not like something I can just put under my pant leg, which is what I really wanted. I wanted something that I could just like go to work wearing. But these are fucking huge. I'm wearing pajama pants, by the way. They're my spooky pajama pants. One sec. No feet revealed, but like, look how big these are. They're huge. Same ones? Probably. They're like the second or third one on Amazon. And they're okay. Like, they're fine. They do the thing they're supposed to do, which is be heavy on your legs, but I really wanted to be able to like wear them under my pants or whatever. So now I'm just like wearing them in the house whenever I'm like going up and down the stairs. And I'm doing leg raises at my desk as I stream or play video games or whatever. Still better than nothing. It's not like I need to do more leg stuff, to be completely honest, but I had to get rid of all my weighted gear a few years ago. Out of necessity, or it was like, was it causing pain? Because that's the thing that gotcha. Yeah, if you're moving. Rot beer. Alright, we'll go to the next one. El Tigre Loco. I don't want to knock out. Fun monster. Connie Jr. Oops. We got a long way before we need to do the match. So we'll leave it for now. Does anybody know who El Tigre Loco's monster is? Probably someone who's asleep. Anyway. I told people to get their stuff uploaded, so there's only so much I can do. I think most people are, like, okay with it if... Oh, sorry, yeah, Twitch went down, and now it's back. Yeah, I don't know what's up. Twitch has been doing this. It hasn't been happening on YouTube at all. It's been since I switched to this new setup, where Twitch just goes down for, like, a minute, and within, like, the first hour of every stream. But, like, I've dropped 0 frames, still outputting to YouTube. I don't know. Yeah, if you were on Twitch and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, El Tigre Loco is not uploaded right now. And so we're trying to figure out who it belongs to, because it's a fun monster. And I don't want to just, like, DQ it for no reason. All good on this end. Yeah, it hasn't dropped once from YouTube. Okay. You can say it's yours. Is the lobster like monster in the base game? Yeah, it's in the game. Ravana and Claire Farron. That's the Arrowhead Suezo. There's actually an enemy one in one of the tournaments. To adopt the abandoned monster? Well, if you can't upload it, it doesn't help me. It's not about I need a name. It's that I need to know who can upload it. Alright, Durahan fight. Let's go. Kind of similar, only difference is a little bit more life, a little less power here. Pretty cool. Same build? It looks like it. Slash combo miss. Slash combo hits. Yeah, it's always going to do 999 in that situation. Game number 2. I'm always betting on the Hercules. I'm a huge Hercules enjoyer. Shit. We're going to game 3. Dash slash, a little bit of damage. Ah, slash combo misses. He's getting basic with it. Rush slash, cut in 2. Dude, I was talking to my mom on the phone today because, you know, 'tis the season. And I was trying to say Asian Heritage Month, and I kept saying Asian Heritage Munch. And I must have said it like 3 times, even after being like, oh, haha, it's funny, I made the mistake. And then I did it again. And then I did it again. And like, my brain was just misfiring. There's nothing I could do about it. We did get some munch, though. Just got the game on Switch. Videos have been really helpful. Hey, well, thank you. It's a very, very fun game. I only have a couple left. Alright, 2 Fluid, 2 Fists, and Kurochan. I've talked about this on stream a little bit, but I've kind of put the channel on hold for a little while I get everything ready for the fight. Of course, there's going to be time for me to work on some video stuff here and there, but I'm like super focused mentally on the fight. I really, really don't want to like half-ass it and go in and get hurt or something, you know? So it like almost all of my spare time, if I'm not in the gym, is like thinking about the fight and thinking about like what I can do and movement and like, oh, if I do this, he does this, I can do this. Like, you know, like time in the lab basically, right? Not online, rip. But yeah, there will be more videos soon. Did I make Monster Entry content? That's what we're doing. Hell yeah. Thank you, thank you. The owner, not the monster. Well, did you message them, or are you just like they're dead? They're offline. All right, game 3. Here we go. Losing weight has been super sick, though. Last year, around New Year's, was when I was like, okay, I'm gonna lose weight. I'm gonna like focus really hard on boxing. The gym has opened up, and it's been, because like I was with my coach before he opened his gym, and so like the gym was like up and functional, like November 2024, but you know, it was like in good shape in January 2025. So I'm like, now I'm gonna start like taking it seriously, go on my own, do all this stuff, work real hard on it. And since then, since January 2025, I'm down almost 35 pounds. So like a year and a half, I lost 35 pounds. The goal was always to lose like 45. My goal is to get to 155. I don't really think that's super doable right now. But I'm also just like, maybe after the fight, it's something I'll think about, losing another 10 pounds. Especially if I feel like fighting again. I feel like it might make sense to go lighter if I can. But like cutting weight is difficult, and I'm not doing this for money, right? So it's tough. Is there a mobile version of any Monster Rancher games? Card games or 1 or 2? So 1 and 2 are available on iOS. You can get this game on iOS, Monster Rancher 1 and 2 DX. Other than that, I mean, emulators are your friend. There's a gacha game that's Japan only that plays exactly like Uma Musume, if you've ever played the Horse Girl game. Literally the exact same game, except, you know, it's Monster Rancher. And it's Japan only, but there's so many resources on the Discord and stuff for anybody who like wants to play that there's like a dozen people who will like drop everything to teach you exactly everything you need to do. I've got a video on like how to get started, but like that only brings you so far. The community's been really cool about it though. Game's not really my vibe. But some people like really like it. It's been around for, was it like 2.5 years? Do you really want to play the card game on Android because I work a lot? Yeah, just get a PS1 emulator. Or a Game Boy emulator if you want to play the first one. The first one is kind of a nightmare. But yeah, we play battle cards. Like, we have a competitive scene for it. We haven't played too much lately, but I've had tournaments for it. And like cash prizes and all that. It's been a lot of fun. Grew up on the PS1 game? Sick. Did you know there's like an entire set of cards after what came out on the PS1 game? There's like Arrowhead and Centaur and Metal Nur and Joker and Color Pandora. Yeah, so the PS1 game goes up to set 3, and there's 4 sets of cards. Was the Kaiju one any good? Yeah, it's a really good game. It plays almost exactly like Monster Rancher 2, except, you know, it's modernized. There are, you know, I have little like there's flaws that bother me, but it's not like a thing that I think 99% of people who are like looking for a Monster Rancher game would notice. It's more of a, I have 10,000 hours in the series, and here are my minute gripes type of thing. Like one of those familiarity breeds contempt type of things, and not so much the game is inherently like actually flawed. It plays a lot like Monster Rancher 2, except like what you would expect it if it was released in 2025 or 2023, whenever it was. Speaking of battle cards, what do you think of the additions to it from fans over the main Discord? I've seen some of them. I don't think anybody understands how to play the game. The balance on them is like all over the place. and mostly like really weak, which is kind of the opposite of what you normally get from homebrew stuff. It's like the cards would be fine because they would be like kind of unplayably bad. Oh my god, he gets the KO. The thwack KO is crazy. I made a Niton set, and then after I got good at the game, me and a bunch of people started playing the game when we realized like how to actually play, like in a sort of like, what do you call it? In a sense where you understand the meta. It became very clear to me that the Niton deck I made would be like unbelievably bad. It would be like maybe like a bottom 3 monster in the game. Do I have a Discord or anything where I can get a Monster Rancher community? Yeah, so in the description of the video, there's a link to the Discord. Let me know if it doesn't work. It's broken a few times, and so I keep trying to update it. Bat and Bug and Hisoka up next. For like the card battle and stuff, it's more of a... We go through periods where it's like... there's interest for it? Yeah, okay, let's run a tournament. It's not like a consistent thing. It's more of like 3 or 4 people have been playing it a lot, and then that kind of like energizes the rest of the people to like want to play more. But I also have a video on it if you're interested in like the absolute basics of how most of the cards work. It's a little out of date. Like there's some things I would redo if I had to do it again. Like I kind of undersell... I don't think I undersell Plant, but it's very hard not to oversell Plant. Or sorry, it's very hard to oversell Plant. Like Plant is stupid powerful. Mochi, I think I oversell Mochi a little bit. Mochi's really, really good, but the top decks don't really worry about Mochi. Mochi's kind of like a gatekeeper where like 90% of the cards can't deal with it, but the top cards just kind of beat its ass, no problem. I talk about Worm being an interesting monster where like his moves are not very cost efficient, but he has lots of tricky plays to like secure KOs. He has lots of like unblockable and undodgeable stuff, whereas most monsters, almost no monsters have like unblockable cards. A lot of monsters have undodgeable cards, but not unblockable. And Worm has both, so it's kind of hard to play around him. But then it turns out Worm is actually just kind of like a stupid powerful stall card. Like with Cocoon. Cocoon is broken. It's not like you can't beat it. Like it's probably like maybe like the 4th or 5th best deck. But it's just, if you're not running something meta, you can have a lot of trouble against it. It's refreshing to have it there than too strong. Yeah, that's true. I haven't got a good look at like everything. Moo is meta. Moo's actually kind of meta. And he's meta in one deck. And I'm the only person who runs the deck. Because it's kind of new. But I think it's very strong. I've been running a dragon combo deck. Which in the game, in like PS1 is like kind of a meme. But in the real card game with all the additional cards that have been released, you can like make it work. It's kind of fucked up. So I run a deck with Dragon, Purebred Dragon, because Moo's always going to be worse than Purebred Dragon, because it functions exactly the same as regular Dragon, except it's not a purebred monster. And there are a ton of cards that like do extra damage or make your cards unblockable against monsters that are mixed breeds. I was gonna say mixed bred and mixed breed at the same time, and I said mixed braids, and I don't know. My brain's dumb right now. It's okay. I'm tired. But yeah, so Moo is always going to be just an objectively worse version of Purebred Dragon. But the reason you use Moo is that it allows you to run Dragon and Moo at the same time. And then that way, you know, you have a lot of card compression in terms of like you can like double up on the dragon's attacking cards. You don't have to worry about bricking so much. So that's where the strength of Mu comes in. And so Mu is an alternate in the deck. He's one of the side deck cards. We're going to see the Nighton cards. I never made them. Like I just made like a list, but I would probably redo it completely. That might be a project to do at some point. Also, Beef Tank going crazy there. Holy moly. Mixed braids, yeah. Yeah, there's a card game. Monster Rancher Battle card. There's a Game Boy game, which is super funny. I've got videos on both. The first one and the second one. The second one's a PS1 game. The first one is very charming. It has literally, I think, the worst translation for a shipped game I've ever seen in my life. It's like Pokemon Vietnamese Crystal, if you've ever seen that. Like the For Mother Volcano Bake Meat. It's like that, except it's a game that was actually released in the West. And it was so bad translation-wise that as a kid, my friend lent it to me. And I got lost in the the deck making menu. And I couldn't get out. I couldn't figure out how to leave the deck making menu. And it turns out it's because you need to have at least one legal deck, or else they won't let you leave the menu. And I couldn't figure out that that's what had happened. I had accidentally deleted one card, so I had, instead of like a 40 card deck or whatever it's supposed to be, I had like a 39 card deck. And it was just like, cannot leave or something like that, like cannot battle, or like I forget what it said, but I was just, oh, I guess the game broke, and I just like shut it off and never played it again. It's incredible. Are Color Pandora cards official? No, they're official. Color Pandora is an interesting card because he's got a bunch of like big recoil damage cards that are kind of cheap. So you can play him as like a hyper aggro card, or you can use him as like support because he's got a couple of really powerful support cards as well. It's kind of an interesting card. You can play him two different ways. Into the Death Thrust? Man, Rising Grind's kind of going crazy today. What problems did I have with Ultra Kaiju? I think it takes too long to play through a single week. I think like the dialogue and shit gets super repetitive, and you need to cut that shit out in a game like Monster Rancher. How are Beaklon cards? They don't exist, brother. So, they could be better. Splinter and Veteran. Dansmon, yeah. I think, like, what happens a lot when people make their own cards is they're like, I've made these cards, it'll be fun to play with them. And that's cool. Obviously, you know, I'm not here to stifle anyone's creativity. I do think if you want people to, like, actually adopt them and like play with them, though, you need to be willing to just like accept that 99% of the cards are not going to be fun to play with. Like, you probably don't know enough about the game. And like that goes for me too. Like, if I was just like, I made a whole bunch of new cards, I don't think on first go that I could make like an expansion that would be functional. Cookie RNG is not fun. Yeah, it's really bad. You're all about the slow life? Yeah, animations and attack icons are really bad. There's so much like cookie cutter stuff, not even involving the cookies, where it just feels like this guy has this attack, this guy has the same attack, this guy also has the same attack. A lot of range 3 charges. A couple of presentation things. I think like making the power icons red and then the intelligence icons blue is like a little awkward. Like they're not like nice colors to look at. It's all like small gripes. It's not the end of the world. Okay, is El Tigre uploaded? We're gonna one more shot. just in case. Nope. It's Jay's monster? Is it Jay's monster? El Benino? It's kind of early Ultraman, right? But it being true to the source material and the source material kind of sucking is not... Oh, you mean the people in costumes? Yeah, the people in costumes vibe is actually one of the things I like the most about it. My gripes with Monster Rancher, like UKMR, are different than my gripes with like Monster Rancher 2. But it's not like Monster Rancher 2 is without them either, right? Like, I think the music in UKMR is better. Hear me away, but maybe if I watch anime. Okay, so here's my suggestion. If you like Monster Rancher, you will like the game. Though I don't think you're going to get a ton of replayability out of it, because you're going to get to a point and be like, I kind of miss the Monster Rancher guys. And that's kind of what happened to me. At the very core of it, I don't really care about Ultraman. So that's... Like, I still put like a ton of time into the game. I really enjoyed it. But it's not a game that I need to play forever, you know? And there's a scene for it, so if you're interested in playing competitive, there's plenty of people who are still playing. Ravana hitting a lot of slash combos. But it's not enough. Adara tanking the slash combo is very cool. Tanky boy. Stab opener, stab closer. Holy shit, dude. Had to swing twice. Kurchan and Robot Hot. And top 6 monsters from this will be advancing to the finals in a few weeks. Okay. The Thrust Claw miss. Yeah, man, I love Battle Card. I want to play again. Having more people play, basically what makes a Battle Card tournament happen is a new person joins the scene and they're like, I want to play. And then everyone else is like, yeah, all right, let's have another tournament. Everyone decides to get together and do something. How difficult is it to get in the Battle Card? Probably like the easiest card game to get into. Like not exaggerating. It's like unbelievably simple. And there's a very limited pool of cards, so there's like not a lot of tricky stuff you gotta look out for. On to experience a PS1 game, but that is a bit difficult. I mean, not if you're emulating. It's quite easy if you're emulating. Tips to getting good at Battle Card: don't try to make Naga work. If you're trying to make Naga work, it's probably in a deck where the other two cards are carrying it. And then Metal Nerd is kind of the same, but I'm going to keep trying to make Metal Nerd work, so, you know, don't do as I do, do as I say. Metal Nerd is, like, unbelievably bad. Arguably the only monster in the game worse than Naga. I don't think it's worse than Naga. It's got some, like, okay staples. It's got some stuff that, like, on curve is pretty okay, but... Alright, we spinning an Okane Kane Jr. I think a bit of an expansion of Naga's kit would be fun. Yeah, so there's two. Monster Rancher Battle Card, the first one is a Game Boy game, and Battle Card Episode 2 is a PS1 game. And then, but it was a real... It's real. Like, I've got a box right here. I gotta get a binder. That's something I'm gonna do tomorrow. I'm gonna get a binder for these. I got Moo on my desk right here. Holographic Moo, baby. Let's go. It's Moo. He says Moo. But yeah, it's just, also I got a bunch of stuff coming from Goat. Goat, you're here. What's going on with that? I'm just kidding. Take your time. We spin in Okanakani Jr. But yeah, the way we play competitively is on Tabletop Simulator. There's a client for it. So, very easy to get into. For physical, I don't think I can get anyone to play. Yeah, you're not going to be able to get anyone to play regardless. But, you know, you can always... If you got one friend who's, like, willing to humor you... There's also these, right? There's, like, starter decks you can get online. They're, like, $12. They're, like, super cheap because nobody gives a shit about Monster Rancher. From the year 1999, no less. Imagine if you can get a starter deck of Pokemon cards for $12. What a world we would live in. Having all this shit on hand really makes me realize I gotta clean up my desk. But it is Japanese only. So playing the PS1 game will at least teach you what some of the cards do. Or, you know, you could hold up your phone over it or whatever. Or just learn Japanese. That's also doable. Oh, we spinning gonna take it? He was spinning a little bit. Dude, this seam on Dragon's leg is so funny. I'm so anal about, like, the mods I've made and making sure everything looks good, but this is, like, that's way worse than anything I made. Even though the texture itself is good. Yeah, the Monster Rancher Battle Card, the games are in English. The actual physical game is Japan only. A, G, and W is air, ground, or water. It's basically an attribute the monster has, and then some attacks are like, this can only hit monsters on the ground, or this can only hit monsters in the air, or whatever, right? And then there's cards that, like, make all grounded monsters, aerial monsters, etc. Water is the best, because nothing targets water. Water was added late in the last expansion. So water is just objectively better than everything else. There's only 2 water monsters, though. It's Arrowhead and the retrain of Zilla. There is a ground Zilla and a water Zilla. But you'd be crazy not to take the water Zilla because it's literally just better. Alright, we're getting into it. Winners of the next 4 matches will all advance to the playoffs in a couple of weeks, but then we got the rest of the tournament to do. It's Haradon and Bat and Bug. Attributes come up. Durahan in particular cares about them. Yeah, one of the things that makes Monol a lot better than its numbers look like, because Monol's cards are all, like, way too expensive for, you know, the damage they do. Or they do too much recoil for, like, the cost or whatever, right? But Monol is an aerial monster, and a lot of, like, the best mons in the game rely on damage that, like, only hits grounded monsters. Like, Dino has an attack that's, like, way above curve but only hits grounded monsters. Durahan relies on a card that is way above curve, only hits grounded monsters. So does Plant. And you can redirect your attacks. So, you know, you can use that as a good way to just avoid damage altogether. How you get on, you know, in tournaments? Well, join the Discord, !Discord, and just talk about, you know, how you're interested in learning or whatever. If you're talking about, like, this or for cards. Because the cards don't happen too often, but they happen when somebody drums up interest. So if you start asking for games, people are gonna get the itch, and then I'm inevitably gonna put something together. Would Illamine, is it Illamine? I don't know how it's pronounced. Water, air, or land? Yes. All right, Bat and Bug is our first monster to advance. Beef Tank and Rise and Grind. Can I speedrun Monster Rancher or Battle Card 2? Yeah, I've tried. The hardest fights in the game are like the second, third, and fourth fights in the game. And then after that, it's just a matter of remembering order of operations. But 99% of the runs I've done have died to like the second or third fight. And even the world record, I think, loses like twice. It's such a blender to get out of. I don't think I've ever seen such like a front-loaded speedrun, difficulty-wise. Be interested to watching it played. See if it's something I'd like. I have some VODs of it. Obviously, they're not like super well edited or anything. It's just, you know, some gameplay from matches. And then I have a how to play rundown. I did a rundown on Monster Rancher Battle Card, which I think is actually really good. One of my better edited videos. And then I have 2 deck profiles that have changed a little bit, like in the last like 2 years since they came out, but they're pretty close. For me and Sam talk about really good decks. Beef Tank. Okay, I wasn't paying attention there. I did so well. I did well up until that point. I'd paying attention to all the matches. One, right? Yeah. Okay. The belly attack. Rise and Grind, like a contender to win the whole thing. So, Beef Tank making a mark. We've got Bat and Bug and Beef Tank going to the finals. Veteran and Wii Spinning up next. But yeah, basically the way Monster Rancher Battle Card works is you have 3 monsters. And so it's basically like 3 heroes, and when they all die, you lose. And then you play around with that. The monster's main breed determines which attack cards they can use, and their sub-breed determines which defense cards they can use. So in order to like make decks more consistent, a lot of the time monsters will, at least 2 of the monsters will like share either a main breed or a sub-breed. And so the 2 monsters on the sub-breed, like say you have Suezo and Yusaba, they can both use Suezo's defense cards. So that way you don't have to put plant defense cards and Suezo defense cards in the deck at the same time. And so if you had a deck with Plant, Yusaba, and Suezo, you would only have to have Plant attack cards, Suezo defense cards, and then like maybe 1 or 2 Suezo attack cards and Plant defense cards. So like it allows you to like compress what you can do that way. Prefer speedruns that are front loaded like that? For example, last 5 duels and okay. Yeah, Forbidden Memories is like an outlier on like the extremities of that for sure. Also, Veteran just body slammed his way to victory. That's it. He's making it. And Hadra and Robot Hot up next. Forbidden Memories is like one of the most notorious speedruns of all time. Monster Rancher 2 speedrun's kind of like that, where it's very, like, it's kind of a slog at the beginning. You can still, like, die to RNG, like, interesting things can still happen, but basically, until you fight rank S, there's not much to worry about. And then in the Major 4, there's only 1 or 2 monsters you really got to stress about, and then, what's his name? The Carmine has a chance, 50% chance to just end it instantly. Carmine is nowhere near as scary as the dragon that kills you instantly. Yeah. It's not Forbidden Memories bad at all, but it is a 50% chance to instantly lose, which is, you know, tough. That was close. Hatterer not landing anything this time. Stardew Valley speedruns are also crazy front-loaded. Part of that is because the last half of the game is sleeping for important dates. It's so funny. Damien was in here earlier. Damien is the world record holder for the Monster Rancher True 100%, which is unlocking everything, beating all the tournaments, getting all the cards. It's like 14 hours when he did it, but I'm thinking for the MS stream we do at the end of the year, that might be something we try to beat. Have a Switch version, do I need Steam version? For this? No, it's crossplay. Hatterer gonna take it 2-1. So Hatterer advancing to the finals. Congrats, GOAT. And now we gotta work our way through losers. Here we go. Mr. Sandman and Metal Aimer. Mr. Salvador. Okay. Big damage versus a tank. What's gonna happen? He's gonna use his small damage attacks and proc anger. Uh-oh. He's in trouble. That's probably it, yeah. 750 damage on the spin slash. Holy shit. Fuck. Speedrunning Battle Card 2 would be fun. Again. But it was not fun when I was doing it. I was crashing out pretty hard, like, every run. The thing about hard mode in Monster Rancher Battle Card, episode 2 at least, is that... Why am I writing monster? Is that the computer, like the AI, will actually read your hand. So say you have a card on Hare, that Hare has like a 0-cost dodge card, and it dodges any attack that costs 2 or more guts. And then Pixie has the same thing for anything that costs 1 or more guts, right? So say you have Hare and you have Pixie, but you only have Hare's defense card. And so you're like, oh, I hope they attack Hare, and then I'll play this, and then I'll dodge the incoming attack. They will never attack your Hare. They will always attack the Pixie instead. So it's very frustrating, and you have to like play with that in mind. And so you always have to like hold multiple cards, or like you can use it to your advantage. Like you can bait them into attacking something that is like gonna die anyway. But for the most part, it's kind of unfun at the beginning. Smash gonna be huge damage. He's living though. Again, 2 smashes in a row. Crits the second one. We're going to game 3. Ooh, Curse Dance, big miss. Smash with a Guts lead. Jeez, dude. Oh my god. 4 smashes in a row. He's still living though. He goes for the spin slash. It's gonna miss. This is over for Metal Aimer. But tanked like a champ. He was tanking. Alright, Root Beer is gonna advance. 2 Fluid, 2 Fists, and Bugtimus Prime. Bug time. Here we go. Ooh, gets him with the Aqua Whip, but a little too late, I think. Dolphin Blow gonna be huge damage. That's what he needs. 78 life though. Another one? Damn, dude. 2 Fluid, 2 Fists. Not out of it yet. Wins game 1. Was looking bad. He can't miss. She can't miss, sorry. Oh my god, dude. Watcha. 2 Fluid, 2 Fists. We got Power Undine on the move. Hey, Krato. Welcome, welcome. Kurchen and Claw Lob are up next. Sunday Fight Night. And then we got a regular tournament tomorrow too. 2 in a row. This is just going to be a short stream tonight. We're just going to play through this. We're about halfway through, and then we're calling it. So I assume we're probably going to be done by like 11:15. Also, hey Spinda, how are you doing? Slash Claws, big damage. Bite gonna miss. Claw Lob in a little bit of trouble here. Misses the bite again. Thrust Claw. Oh, I was gonna say it's not gonna kill, but it did kill. Can't listen to me, and you can't listen to Pans. Here we go, game number 2. Tail Lashes, big damage. Got another Drill Claw. Ooh, he's been using that a lot this tournament. 2 in a row? Damn, he heard me. He knows. Well, I'm good to hear. Happy for you. I'm in a very good mood, even though I'm kind of sleepy, because I had a great day, and then I went to the gym, and kind of in that like post-workout euphoria. Also, I spent a lot of time, like I did like 16 minutes of skipping, which is a lot of skipping. I did one 10-minute stretch, and then I did 2-minute sprint, 30 seconds off, 2-minute sprint, 30 seconds off. Very difficult for me, at least. But that was my warm-up, and then I basically spent the rest of my session just working on getting in and like situational things for like on the bags, and that was very rewarding, and I feel very happy and very confident. So sleeping at a good time does feel good. Well, that as well. I've been sleeping well lately. Not a lot of like 1 a.m. nights, 2 a.m. nights. It's been a couple, but like not many since May started. Went above my usual. It's not even that I went above. It's more of like every time I do sparring, especially if I like watch the videos back, I see things that are like ugly or like things I don't like, or like, why did I do that? And so I try to recreate the situation in my head and like on a bag, and then what could I have done instead? And then it's at least been pretty good for me in terms of like when that happens, next time I go in, I'm able to like execute on like the thing that I was thinking about. So finding out like what the issue was and like working on my mechanics a little bit to like fix it, I feel like next time I go in sparring, I'm going to be able to like implement these things. So next Wednesday. But I've got a personal training session with coach tomorrow too, so I can work on it there too. Or at least like show him what I was doing, and then he can be like, no, that's stupid, don't do that. Or like, here's how you can make that even better, or whatever. Damn, Sandman going crazy. Is he gonna make the run the whole way? I say after he's won 2 matches. Okanikane Jr. and Articuno V2. Both pretty old monsters. Articuno V2, one of the oldest monsters in the DXBL. I was rating Okanikane V2. Sandman just sparring. He's just throwing big shit and people aren't moving out of the way. Articuno V2 was, I believe, in the very first Deluxe Cup. And I remember being a little bit incredulous about the build because I was like, skill is so low, yada yada yada, but the extra life makes such a difference in this format. The best time to go to sleep is after waking up. It's like consciously choosing to fall asleep, and that's all kinds of good brain chemicals. Yes, going to sleep, hitting snooze on your thing is what you're saying. Ahead of his time? He's always like done pretty well. I myself have been doing pull-ups and I can now manage sets of 30 times 4. He's saying I can push to 35s. That's sick. That's a lot of pull-ups. Holy shit. I don't think I could do that. I have not done a pull-up in, I don't know, 2 years. It's just not really part of my training regimen. So it's one of those things where it's like people are like, oh, what's your bench? And it's like, I don't fucking know. Probably not very high because I don't practice doing bench. Like, I've got the muscles and stuff, but like I don't have the form. I don't have the muscle memory and like the feeling and the sensation of like being on the bench doing that, which is so much of like what affects your max, right? Same thing with like pull-ups, right? You want to do pull-ups with your bootstraps? That's sick. So like I don't know what I could do. I'm doing like 1,000 push-ups a week, if not more. So I feel like I could, and I'm doing like so much core stuff, I could probably do an okay amount of pull-ups if I was to like start practicing them. But there's like a lot of form in it, right? Like putting your arms in to like activate delts and your lats and just like specific motions and things that help so much that like I'm not really aware of. You need 50 kilograms assisted weight for a pull-up? I can only do pull-ups if I have 50 more kilograms. Or are you saying that's like a 50 kilogram counterweight? Do you think swimming is good form of exercise versus the gym? I do a lot of swimming. Dude, it's like the best cardio you can do is swimming. Or skipping, I think. Skipping's pretty good too. It's not as bad on your shins and knees as running is, but it's pretty close. Swimming's definitely number one. My arms and upper abs are my most worked muscles. Look like Popeye. Bro, I got the old man forearms. Like that's what makes me think I could probably do an okay amount of pull-ups. I got the forearms for it. Like I got like the 2D biceps where it's like they're like there and then turn it sideways, my arm like disappears. That's also kind of a trick of the camera. But then, you know, my forearms are okay. Jump rope kind of fucked my knees. Worth it though. It's not as good for you for cardio as swimming is, right? I mean counterweight. I know, I'm just joking. You're like, I can only do a pull-up if I got 50 pounds on my back or 50 kilograms on my back. But yeah, no, I know what you're saying. But yeah, I love jump rope instead of running. Running, I think, is more mentally taxing for me. And so it's just on a personal level, I'm not a big fan of it. But also, I feel like it's better for your knees and stuff. And it's easier in... It's less damaging for your legs to go from, like, really high intensity to really low intensity in skipping versus in running. I feel like when you have to stop your momentum to slow down, it, like... is like duh, 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 on your legs, and like that probably can't be good for them. Versus in skipping, you know, you go fast, slow. It's not, you don't have to stop your own momentum, right? Try to jump rope on soft ground. Yeah, I only do it on the mats. I won't do it on concrete. Damn, Cora with the comeback? cardio sucks straight up. If God wanted me to intake that much oxygen, my entire torso would be a giant lung. My cardio has gotten so much better, but it's so funny because there was this kid in our gym, and he's fighting the same day I'm fighting. But we all made fun of him because he had like old man cardio. He's like 19, 20. I think he's 20. And his cardio was like easily the worst of anyone who's fighting. And so we're like, this cannot be the case, man. You're 20 years old. You're like almost half Nash's age. Like you gotta be able to do this. And so like he wasn't training super hard. Like I'm not giving him shit. He had finals at school, right? So, you know, school is important. More important than your fight. I get it. But, you know, he wasn't training very hard. And then he had to go back home for like a week. And my coach is like, you better train when you're home. And he's like, I'm going to run every day. And then he came back and his cardio was fucking cracked. Like just a week of running and he's like, okay, I'm good now. And yeah, his cardio is like better than mine now. Like what the fuck, dude? Youth is wasted on the young, man. What the hell? It literally took him a week to like outpace me in cardio. Stupid. Asshole kid, man. Cardio's amazing. You'll feel like a jet engine in a month. Yeah, if you keep up with it, it's big. Alright. I wasn't really paying attention to this. I think that's 1-1, but we'll just make sure. No, it's 2-0. Okay, that was quick. Miss Muter going crazy. Sweet Summer Adult and root beer. Man, I miss root beer. I gotta get some, like, diet root beer. A&W diet root beer tastes exactly like a regular A&W root beer. I don't know, like, I literally can't taste the difference, so I think that's probably gonna be the play. Youth on the young, riches on the old, you know, assuming gestures to the world wasn't a thing. Yeah. And most times it's not. It's really funny doing, like, so many corporate events, especially when they do, like, fundraisers, whatever, right? And there's, like, some big multinational company, and you see how much money, like, they have a scoreboard of, like, who's donated what or whatever during the charity event. And they donated, like, less to this charity that they're, like, one of the main sponsors of than, like, I personally donate, like, in a year. And it's like, you guys are worth like $70 billion. I don't even donate that much. Like, and I don't want to sell myself short. I feel like I'm fairly charitable, but like, it's not even close. Like, my net worth versus that, like, we shouldn't be comparable, let alone me being in the lead. What the hell? Remember my older talk about how if you can do cardio without listening to music, you can do anything? Honestly, man, I had to... So, you know, not the cat's out of the bag, I suppose. I'm in, like, the trial stages right now of... I'm flirting with the idea of making a mini documentary about the run-up to the fight this last month of training. And I recorded myself doing a 3-minute skipping session. And 3 minutes with no music because I had my phone recording me and I didn't want to have to like worry about copyrighted music in the background was so tough. Like, I was just like, how do you do this? Nothing to focus on. I don't know how people do like hour-long bike rides with like no music. That's a level of like mental fortitude I don't have and kind of aspire to, but also it feels torturous to a point where like I don't think I'm willing to try it. They're hosting the event? No, so it's not that they're hosting. They're like one of the main sponsors because like they donated X amount, right? But then the donation amount to get that sponsorship is like so low. Video where? Of what? The boxing? It's not up yet. It's I don't even know if it's gonna happen. It's... I feel like if I don't have enough B-roll and enough like footage of myself, I'm not going to do it. And I'm kind of not forcing myself to collect footage and stuff because I don't want that to be a thing I'm anxious about. So it's more of like a, if I can do it, I will do it. I think it'd be nice to, like, if I could make like a little 10-minute video, I think it'd be fine. I could even do like animations and stuff for it. Hisoka and Claire Farron up next. Is it a bad idea then? Brother, the original bad idea was one of the best monsters ever seen in the original hard mode. In the emulator Monster Rancher 2. So we know. Bad ideas are good ideas. Throw the Metal Nerf footage in the B-roll, and it's like, this is how I trained. My forearms are a little sore because I got elbowed really hard in the forearm in sparring yesterday. I also got elbowed in the nose so hard that like I thought my nose was broken. And I was just like, I got hit and I had like a split second. I'm like, fuck, okay, let's go. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And my nose was just bleeding. And I heard like just a sickening like noise, just like, oh, as it like reverberated through my skull. And it's still like tender, but it doesn't hurt nearly as much as whatever elbow I took to like the funny bone on my arm. Also, grit tie, but this guy wins. It was crazy, and I wasn't paying any attention. Sorry about that. That's okay. You guys can watch and enjoy. Claire gets another grit. Not dead yet. Oh, dodge the stab and the pierce. Still living. Rush slash not going to be enough. Cut in two. Going to finish him off, though. Claire Farron bringing it to game 3. 2 crazy matches. Let's go. Belly punch. Little miss there. Can't land anything. Cut in 2. Gonna do a good chunk. Hisoka down to half health. A ton of guts, though. This is gonna do huge damage. Slash combo. Will it do 409? It will. Hisoka gets the grit. The thwack is gonna miss. Another pierce. It's enough. Damn. The grit comebacks over and over again, eh? Hisoka gonna win that one in a very close 2-1. The diamond and 2 fluid, 2 fists. Okay, hold on, let's go back. I want to show you guys something. I had a tournament. Where this one guy made 100 different emails to enter 100 fake monsters and like just fuck up the bracket. This was before I checked like every monster at the beginning. Oh no, it's I wasn't caught off guard because it was all the monsters were fake. Because I don't know, he was expecting me to not check, but everything was a joke name like this. That was super early on into my streaming. It was right after DX launched. And yeah, it was like at least 50 monsters he had entered were all fake like this. And basically it got to a point where if we saw something that looked like a joke name like this, where like the breeder name and the monster name lined up, it's like, okay, it's that same freak. And it didn't like really affect the tournament at all. It was just like, I had an annoying like, man, you wasted like 10 minutes of my time. But that was it. Never figured out who it was, but it doesn't really matter. It's very funny in retrospect, but it's also like, you had to spend so much time doing that. Because you have to upload a monster, and then you have to make a new file, and upload the monster, and then make a new file and upload the monster. Or like make a new account even. Yeah, you'd have to make a new account every single time. That's so funny, man. Like, it probably was like 4 or 5 hours of work for them, and like 15 minutes for me to realize I was being trolled. That's fan mail, yeah, exactly. We've had some freaks on this channel. There was a guy who said, I was trying to figure out, it was after I made a video. It's in the duck and VOD I put up, the We Trained Him Wrong as a Joke VOD. But we were talking about the weird thing. It was like a trend on TikTok where people were doing this like AI generated thing where it was like, if you don't watch this right now, what are you even doing? You have to stop what you're doing and watch this video right now. And all of them started that way. And then what the content of the video was, there was an artist who was making art, and then all of a sudden he made a crucified minion, and he didn't realize he was making the crucified minion, and this is what it looked like. And like that's like the whole video, like just some like shit to like scare like an 80-year-old grandma, I guess. Like I don't know who the target market for that is, or like children. But we were making jokes about that, and there was a guy after that video who started like adding Twitch on YouTube, trying to get my account banned. And I was trying to figure out what I could have said. I'm like, did I offend him by talking about the stupid minion thing? And then it turns out, no, I didn't offend him with the stupid minion thing. What I offended him with, also, I'm pretty sure he won 2-0 already. Yeah, he won 2-0 already. So, Two Fluid, Two Fists got another fight, but the Diamond won. What he was mad about was he made a tweet that was something like, I can't wait till we implement another draft so all you fucking pinko commies can see what it's like to fight in war or whatever. And then, but his profile picture is like him and 2 of his children like on his arms. And I was like, gonna be crazy when your son dies for like Baron Trump's like 90th war on oil or whatever. I don't remember what I said. This was like 2 years ago. And he tried to get in touch with Twitch on Twitter to get me banned from Twitch for that comment, saying that comment was me threatening to kill his children, because like he's too stupid to understand context, right? Or I said it would be ironic if the guy who wants to bring back the draft had his kids, you know, put in the draft. Yeah, I don't need to explain it to you. You know the fucking bit. But he was adding Twitch for like months, like trying to get me banned. And someone from Twitch had to be like literally reached out to him and was like, we're not banning someone for something they said on on Twitter. Kind of like, you're an insane person. And I don't think I've ever seen Twitter reach out to someone like that before. So he must have been doing something to piss them off. They ended up like blocking him or whatever. And then, you know, I would check up on him occasionally, and he would be saying stuff like, I got banned for, or I got blocked by Twitter for this fucking Moose Bones guy. Like, how's he allowed to say this stuff and still have an audience? And just like kept going. And like I wasn't interacting with him at all. I made one tweet, and it was like months, and I would like check in every now and then and be like, I wonder if this guy's still going. And lo and behold, it might have been like 5 days, but he said something just like, I can't believe that fucking Moose Bone still on Twitch. So he's a fan. He's watching the streams. I hope he's still watching now. I haven't been on Twitter in like 2 years, so I don't know if he's still up to it. But, you know, God forbid a girl have hobbies, you know? Kura-chan and Mr. Sandman, let's get into it. I always get crazy haters. The problem is I enable them. I think the crazy is funny, and so I kind of egg them on. Sandman's got it. He's been killing it. Kura-chan's been doing real good, too. The straight? Oh, just as power was running out. Big damage. Sandman. Does Sandman have what it takes to go all the way? They both can do it. There's also the guy who was like... He said something about how like Kamala Harris was trying to turn everyone trans. And I was like, what a like stupid thing to say. And he's like, oh, it was just a joke. And I'm like, okay, but like, why are we doing this on my channel? Like, why are you wasting the oxygen getting into this political debate? And he's like, I don't even really believe that, but I did vote for Trump or whatever, right? And like, so we're like, okay, like, whatever, man. Like, shush, we're trying to have a conversation. We're trying to have fun on the internet. And then, oh, he's gonna win it, eh? Sandman, still going. But like, he just wouldn't drop it. And then eventually we're like, dude, like, you're being annoying, shut up. And then he's like, oh, I'm being annoying, am I? Is this annoying to you? And so like, I blocked him, obviously, right? It's like, yeah, you're annoying. Sorry, you're not allowed in the party anymore. And he literally, and not exaggerating, he spent like 80 hours straight, like maybe more. It was like 3.5 days, but I can't do the math on that. Would that be 72 plus 12? So 84. 84 hours. 3.5, 4 days, something like that. This is, every time I tell the story, it's going to get longer. For 90 days in a row. But, like, the reason I think it was 80 or 84, why that number comes to my mind, is because when it was happening, I was like counting it. Where every single tweet he made was about me. And it was like 5 tweets an hour. Just like crashing out about what a piece of shit I was, and like how we didn't understand jokes, and like the fucking liberals don't get anything, and like this is why Trump won, and like just still like going, man. And again, like, I saw him tweet once and I was like, you were banned because you're being weird, and like that's it. Like, it's not deeper than that. And then I think if I hadn't said anything, he would like wound down a lot sooner. But because I said that, just like he kept going and kept going. But like he tweeted, like he retweeted me saying that he was weird, and then responded to it like 12 times, like back to back, just something, like all these like angry comments, right? And so I muted it, and then I'm like, I'm gonna check in on this and see if he's still doing it later, because like I don't know what's up. And like 2 hours later, he was still going. I'm like, holy shit. And then I went to bed and I woke up and he was still doing it. Like, he had taken a couple hours to sleep, but he was still going the next morning. And then I'm like, that's real funny. And then end of day, still going. Day after that, still going. Just like a deeply unwell person. But like by like partway through the 3rd day or whatever, he's commenting about other stuff and like crashing out on other people. And then I thought it was over, and then he's back. He's back on the Moose Bones hate. And I don't know, man. People know when to turn it off. But you never know. People like that need to go on a personal journey of mature. Honestly, I think a lot of people are just like, I don't know. There's like no worse rejection than like someone publicly like mentioning that they're like kind of strange. Like, if, you know, not to get too ultra woke, though I have been known to be ultra woke if you ask those guys or whatever, but I don't think anything, if you want to know what it's like to be a girl on the internet, all you got to do is tell a guy their joke wasn't funny as a guy, because they're gonna crash out the exact same way that like they'd crash out if they ask a woman like out on a date or whatever and they say no. I guess that's not even women on the internet, that's just women in general. Because there's so many times where somebody has like said something on my channel that's like an insult to me. Like, it's insulting to me, like they're insulting me, but like kind of in a familiar way, like it's kind of playful, they don't really mean anything by it, but like I'm not friends with them, so it just comes off as them like being an asshole, right? And I'll hit back with something of similar vibes, because, you know, I'm not a little baby, I can take it. But then they're like, oh, well, it was just a joke, like, why are you acting like this? And then it's like, mine was just a joke too. And it's like, yeah, but you didn't take my joke in good humor, yada yada. And it's like, Okay, well, maybe your joke wasn't funny. I don't know, man. And then it's like, yeah, fuck you. Hope your channel fucking dies. I hope your family gets in a car and it explodes. Like, just like, they go off the deep end immediately as soon as you tell them that the thing they said wasn't funny. And, like, I don't know. That's probably what it feels like to tell a guy no when they ask you out on a date. I don't know. I've been told to kill myself so many times. You become, like, completely immune to it. And, like, I'm a small streamer. Like, this is nothing, man. I got a small YouTube channel. I got a small stream. We just do this for fun whenever I get spare time. Imagine if it was, like, your career and you have to deal with those guys, like, 4 times a day. You came in at a great time. Hey, Toji, how are you doing? Past Combo Breaker Monster Rancher 2 champion Toji. I have small other things too. Damn. He's right. My ego. I got the smallest ego of anyone I've ever met. Vandrast to make a comeback, but it needs hardier participants? Yeah, I know. I don't know how bigger streamers handle it because there's some real nuts out there. Yeah. Like, my OPSEC is not, like, super good. Like, I think if you wanted to be an obsessive freak, you could figure out exactly where I live. Like, I don't think I've done a very good job at hiding my tracks. But I also, like, I don't go out of my way to be like, I live on this block or whatever, right? But those guys, like, bigger streamers got to be so careful about that shit. Yeah, managers that set up the streams have a lot of mods. I have like 3 mods, and Zephyr's the only one who's online most of the time. Is Goat a mod? Goat might be a mod. Yeah, Goat's a mod too. Rainbow would know. Rainbow could figure that shit out immediately. It would be so funny to just be like, hey, Rainbow, dox me. And then, but like, don't give him any information. He has to like check out all your tweets and shit to figure out where you live. That was a good save with the ego. I've been streaming a little bit. I know the tricks. Streaming as a woman has to be terrifying because dudes have no chill. Yeah, and that's just online. Imagine walking down the street. I think, like, that's the thing that a lot of people... And, like, honestly, the reason I say this is because I was like it for a very long time. I was very much a guy who likes to tell jokes, but can't handle a joke. Like, that was me for a very long time. I remember being in high school and being like, oh, you can't offend me, whatever. But, like, I had really thin skin. I got in a lot of, like, actual fights and shit over, like, name-calling and stuff. It wasn't until I was older that, like, I got better. Honestly, until I, like, joined the Smash scene, I started doing, like, commentary and stuff. I got a lot better at, like, just thinking on my feet. And, you know, I'm still not the fastest guy. Ask your mom. But I am a lot better at just dealing with, you know, the heckling. And, like, you know, it's, if someone is, like, making fun of me in, like, a fun way, that's fine. But, like, I've gotten good at it when someone's making fun of me in, like, a way where they actively, like, want my bloodline to end. Like, they're being an asshole and they hate me. Like, I've gotten good at just, like, letting that run off my back, too. Rise and Grind, Mr. Sandman up next. Naga got 2-0'd by a Bajarl. Yeah, that did happen. Why you chasing my mom? She has bad knees. I didn't say anything about chasing her. She's chasing me. My worm gel was called Disarmalade. So if I make a mighty gel, douche the lesh. Oh my god. Disarmalade was sick though. There's a big difference between playful jab and genuinely trying to antagonize someone. Oh, for sure. Lots of people don't know the difference. It can be hard to tell online. But I think a good rule of thumb is if you don't know the person, like, say they don't follow you on Twitter, and you're making a playful jab, they're probably going to be annoyed. Because you're just like some guy taking pot shots. Karamanis is pretty good too. I'm autistic, so it's harder for me to tell when people are joking and trying to make fun of me. Brother, are you like 99% of Blue Sky? Because I don't think they've got the tism, but they do not know how jokes work at all. You lose so much context in text-only format. You really don't. Like, I get it, but you don't, man. Like, unless the person is, like, horrible at writing, you can put two and two together. It's about expecting good intentions. I think that's the hardest part, is expecting good intentions. If you assume everyone's gonna be an asshole, you will read things with the context that they are being an asshole. People suck at sarcasm and text. Again, I think, honestly, I think it's just a skill issue. I don't think it's that tough. I think if someone is doing a bit, it can be tough if it's like they're actively not trying to let on that the thing they're saying is an untruth. Like, if someone is doing a character or whatever, and you don't know they're doing a character, yeah, sure. But that's more of like a meta-analysis of the thing you're reading. You need additional info. You need context. But if someone's like... I think most of the time when someone's just being sarcastic and they're just like, you know, a middle-aged person with their whole government name in their handle, you can figure out if they're being sarcastic or not. If their name is like Nigerian Homer Simpson or something, and their logo is like, I don't know, like Flameboy from World Industries or something, like maybe they're doing a bit. Maybe it's not serious. But that one might be a little bit harder to figure out, to parse at first glance. But if their name is like Karen Donovan 68 or whatever, and they're like, oh boy, I sure do love Trump or whatever, like, Blue Sky will be filled with people like, oh, you love Trump? And it's like, no, this lady doesn't, you moron. Like, you can put it together. Anyway, Okani Kani Jr. is doing good. Missed the hidden sting. There's some Monster Rancher happening. Ooh, hidden sting. The tail assault. The thwack finisher. He bonks him on the head. Sting again. Man, I'm getting hungry. I really gotta... I've been doing a good job of not eating late at night. I think I just gotta slam like a big glass of water and then I'll be okay. I ate kind of a big dinner. But it was like significantly smaller than it's been in like the last little bit. You're a cheesehead? I've been eating a lot of Cudahy cheese lately. Robot Hot and Sweet Summer Adult. Don't eat after 7 p.m. is to go lose weight? Yeah, I haven't been. I mean, I did, because that's when I ate dinner. It was like 7:30 or something. But I haven't eaten since, and I won't eat again. Because it's like Christmas, because I weigh myself every morning. I have a whole spreadsheet. And it's such a good surprise to like wake up and be like, oh, I lost like a pound overnight. Like, that's so sick. Or like, I'm half a pound lighter than I was yesterday. Let's go. And the only way to do that is to not eat a ton of shit at night. Even if, like, you know, with the food you ate, you'd still be at like caloric deficit. It's not going to be digested and out of your body by the time you wake up. So you'll still be like heavier, even if, you know, whatever. So yeah, I've been actively not eating at night just because it's like such a good dopamine rush first thing in the morning to see weight loss. Conversely, it kind of fucks up my day if I'm like a pound heavier than I expect it to be. Weigh 228 pounds, I don't feel big. Is that about the same as where you were when I met you? Like 2 years ago? I think your body takes longer to digest meals after X time. It's just how active you are after X time. Which is why, you know, people don't say don't eat after whatever. Because you're not going to go out and like do whatever at midnight. But, you know, if you're working overnight or you're going to go to the gym at like 9 p.m. or whatever, it's different. You can probably eat at like 8:30, 9 and be fine. Sweet Summer Adult, gonna win it 2-1. We spinning in a diamond. $200 to $218 back then? Nah, Yeah, when I met you, I would have been about 190. Maybe like between like 185 and 190. And I'm like 167 today. Or 168. I forget what I said. I feel so much faster. That's the big thing. I was thinking, like, as you're settling down for bed, your body kind of goes into rest mode. Right, but that's not, like, based on a time. That's based on proximity to bedtime. Thank you. Yeah, I'm down 35 pounds from my max. I was, like, 200 around Christmas that year. If I can get comfortably under 165, I'm, like, I really changed my diet in terms of, like, I haven't had any fast food since the beginning of the month. I'm probably not going to. I've had, like, very little fried food. I had a little bit at work and whatever, just, like, keep myself going. Like, eating hors d'oeuvres and whatever. But, it's almost entirely just, like, oatmeal and yogurt and, like, fruit and veggies and, like, cottage cheese. Bread every now and then. Make a sandwich for lunch or whatever. Still living. You won't die. The diamond, too strong. Nothing's tougher than a diamond, baby. Is that the first game? I feel like the game went on forever. It did go to time. Oh no. We spin and wins both of them. Damn. Diamond did his best. We spinning gonna take that 2-0. It's good self-control. It's not that hard. Like, it's tough, but the problem with, like, all addiction and, like, all self-control stuff is just, like, you know, there's obviously, like, a mental barrier and, like, chemistry in your brain or whatever gets changed the more you're dependent on something. And it's not so much a factor of just, like, oh, you know, if you're addicted to heroin, oh, you can just quit. Like, I get it. There's, like, a chemical thing that happens and whatever, right? But so much of, like, stuff in terms of like I wasn't addicted to food, but like I love eating. Like I love eating. So a big thing was like, I was just like, I love good food. I'm going to eat some more. I was never like a eat for the sake of eating kind of guy. Like that's what I think saved me from being like huge is I was never like I'm going to make like chicken fingers at midnight just to eat something kind of guy. Like I never had that, but I was always like, oh, this would be really good. Like I'd love to have like whatever dish and then I'd make it. Even if, you know, I had already had more than enough food throughout the day, just because, you know, I love to eat. I love good food. And then I got to a point where it was like, I love that, but I love waking up and being a tiny bit lighter than I was the day before, more than I like that. And so it was just like, what do I want more? And what I want more is to, you know, not fuck up my weight for the fight. Managed to gain some weight since last year. I still struggle to put on weight. 178 2 years ago. 93 muscles. Damn. Sick. Water, busy work, and video games are great anti-food. Yeah, water is really good for it. Also, like, as much as people like will tell all of the negatives of like diet pops and stuff, or soda for the Americans, I suppose. 0 calorie shit is great. It's mankind's greatest creation. And I know there's some studies about how it like may potentially increase chances of dementia or whatever, but I'm waiting for more studies before I make a hard and fast rule on it. Until then, I'm drinking my diet Cokes and my Coke Zeros and my Pepsi Zeros, and Pepsi Zero because I live above a dollar store that only carries Pepsi products. I've never had Crystal Ice. I had Crystal Ice like once or twice as a kid and thought it sucked, and then I think I've kind of had an aversion to it because of that. Sweet Summer Adult and Wii Spinnin'. It's really good. Alright, maybe I gotta get some. Wii Spinnin'. Zero sugar stuff only works when people don't indulge in other aspects because they're doing the 0 calorie stuff. Yeah. I've told this story before, but I had a really fucked up roommate like a while ago. Like, she was so obnoxious and just like awful person, really like manipulative and gross to be around. But one of the funniest things I ever heard her say, and she got so mad at me for this, but she was talking to her dad on the phone, and she was like, yeah, I'm gonna like take my weight loss really seriously. She was like extremely overweight, and like, I don't care, you know, live your life. Not for me, but like, whatever, you know, you do you. I'm not gonna judge you for it. But like, she was a very heavy girl, and the only time I ever made a comment on it was what I'm about to say. She was talking to her dad, and she's like, yeah, I'm like really concentrating on losing weight, and so I'm not gonna have any like soda or pop anymore, just like no sugar like that. And then there's a break in the conversation because I couldn't hear what her dad was saying, and she's like, yeah, that's right, I'm only gonna drink milkshakes from now on. And I fucking howled laughing. It was so funny to me. I thought it was a bit, and because I thought she was making like a fuck that, I don't need to lose weight joke, right? Like, I thought that was the bit she was making, was that she's like, I don't need to lose weight, I'm fine, I'm cool as I am. And I was just like, you know, like, I thought I was in on the joke, but she got so mad at me and said I was like fat shaming her and this and that, and like losing her shit, like yelling at the top of her lungs at me. And I'm still laughing because I'm like, holy fuck, she was serious. Like, that's so much funnier than the joke I thought she was making. That's so much funnier. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm only drinking milkshakes from now on. Insane person. Oh. Still funny. Good for her. I wonder if she's still drinking milkshakes. Anyway, Rise and Grind advanced to top 6, so he will be in the finals. So congratulations. Bob, I don't think Bob's watching right now. Zero cal, kind of bad here in the US because not all zero cal is actually zero cal. If it's 10 or less, they can put zero cal and still be above board. Yeah, I mean, they kind of do the same thing in Canada too, but like 10 is so low. Like it's negligible. If you drink 10 Coke Zeros, like, okay, there's other problems happening. Did you mean those shitty Slim Fast ones are real milkshakes? Dude, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think that she might have been talking about the Slim Fast ones, but I don't think so. I think for the purposes of the bit, we're going to pretend that's not what she was saying. I can go for a milkshake. I made a smoothie this morning, which is kind of milkshake coated. Guessing they think milk is good for you and milkshakes must also be good for you. Milk is like, I'm a white guy. I'm a white guy who grew up in a town of 4,000 people and everyone else was white as well. So I love drinking milk, and it's one of the biggest pains of the weight loss is not being able to drink milk. Like, I have milk. Like, I put it in coffee and whatever. I'm not going crazy about it. But, hold on one sec. We spinning one all. We spinning wins game 3. Thank you. Thank you, me. So we spinning is going to make it to the finals as well. All right, we're in our top 6. I'm white as fuck. I am. Town of 4,000 people. There's 2 black kids in my high school. The entire 4 years I was there, and they were brother and sister. And I believe they were half black. I'm growing papayas, but none of my plants are ready to bear fruits. No papaya shakes yet. I don't really like papayas, but I'm happy for you. Dude, it's really funny because I could see the real answer being that she was talking about like the Slim Fast ones, but she was talking about what to eat, like what to drink during meals. So was she supplementing one of those as like instead of like a glass of water or something? It makes more sense that you say that that's what she meant, but I don't know if it like makes it any better in the context, honestly. If papayas were female, they'd be momayas. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. I've developed a stutter. Yeah, because the Slim Fast shakes are like meal replacement, right? Like you drink it instead of eating the meal you were going to eat. You don't eat it as an additional thing. Fuck. Which is why it doesn't work. It's why people don't stick to the diet, because it's fucking miserable to have the only thing you ate all day is like 3 shitty shakes. You have a lot of calories. Yeah, it's like 400 calories or something, right? Because the point is you drink this instead of breakfast. You drink this instead of lunch. But I can't imagine eating, like drinking that. There's no way that works to like satiate your hunger and stuff, right? Like when I was drinking meal replacement shakes, I had a cup of applesauce with them because otherwise I'd be hungry. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so beef tank's up 1-0. Aspartame and corn syrups are bad as sugar replacements. Well, corn syrups are not sugar replacements. They are sugar. And he goes to practically everything in low-cal now. Corn syrup is high sugar to begin with. Since they're fully artificial, the body doesn't know how to process it, causing weight gain and bloating. There's a lot of information. There are a lot of studies that say exactly the opposite to that. That's why I love the zero-calorie conversation, because no matter what you agree on, no matter what your point is, there are multiple studies saying you're right. It's wonderful. It lets everybody, including myself, feel real smart about it. Be like, no, you're wrong. I read this other thing. And they're like, that thing's wrong. I read this other thing. And we can just go back and forth forever. TLDR, I haven't had pop with sugar in it in like 4 months. And I am down 20 pounds since the beginning of the year. So, Beef Tank couldn't do it, but he tried. He's still making it to the finals, but Bat and Bug is moving on 2-1. Veteran and Hatera up next. I know, at least for my body, it causes weight gain and bloating, and I'm not going to argue with you that it doesn't. I'm not going to sit here and be like, no, you're wrong. I think it's such a crapshoot. It really reminds me of like the eggs thing of like the 90s and early 2000s, where every like 2 years there was a new study about whether eggs were actually like the worst food in the world for you, or they were like actually really good. And it's like, new study debunks all other studies. New study debunks that study. New study, and just like back and forth. And so we don't know. Eggs are high in protein and cholesterol, and that's about it. Surviving the dive and press, but really hard matchup for Hatera right now. Been the same weight, skinny for like 10 years, so I'm keep drinking it. Hell yeah. Average water intake for regular person is 3 liters, so just spread that out in a day, and the shakes will be good. Yeah, I think it's more of like the mental drain of being like, I haven't had solid food. Because I worked with a guy who went on like a juice diet to like lose weight quickly, because he was like pretty overweight, and he was fucking miserable the entire week. It was just like a thing to like reset him, and then he was gonna like slowly get back on food, and then that was like whatever plan he was on, that's how they did it. And he was like the most miserable I've ever seen him in his life that week, like just snapping constantly. And fuck, I would too, man, if I had no solid food. That'd be really tough. I had one day last week where I think I had, would it have been Saturday? No, last Thursday? Where I think I had like 900 calories all day, and I didn't feel hungry just because of what I ate and how I was spaced out. I had kind of a big breakfast, and then I had like small snacks throughout the rest of the day. Obviously, that's not a caloric intake you can do every single day, but it was, you know, I think I could probably hit that like once a week and be fine. It was a day where I didn't have a workout, so I was very low activity all day because I was working all day. But yeah, my breakfast was like 2 pieces of bread and 2 eggs and like a cup of yogurt. And then I had a plum a couple hours later. And I had an apple before work. And then I think I had one more thing of oatmeal before bed. And so I did the math, and it was like 950 calories or something, which is like nothing. But, you know, obviously that's going to help with weight loss if I can manage that like once a week or something. Big Mac with extra large fries and Diet Coke is still just as bad for you. Yeah, I mean, it's better for you than getting the regular Coke, but, you know, if you're eating like a 1,700 calorie lunch, like, Like, thank you for not getting the 400 calorie soda as well, but, you know, it's better, but it's not fixing the problem. It's limiting maximum damage, but is this the right matchup? Yes, this is in losers. Hatterra lost to Veteran, and now Hatterra beats Rise and Grind. Yeah, he was fighting Veteran. He lost. Lost 2-0. I'm watching back just to make sure. Yeah, 2-0. Now this is 1-all. How y'all guys doing? I'm doing good. Lately I've been raising various monsters in Monster Rancher 1DX on Steam Deck. First my Rocky Fur called Stony. Isn't his name literally Stoner in Monster Rancher 1? Mr. Tecmo named Zippo, sick. Yeah, he's Rocky Fur in Monster Rancher 2, but in Monster Rancher 1 he's called Stoner. And his card says he's best friends with Scalar, which is hair dino. People order pizza and salad at my work, and for something like that evens out. No, that's not how that works, yeah. The salad's really good if you feel like the pizza's not going to be enough, though. And you're like, it's a lot of food. Oh, the crit. It works if it's, like, still, like, within the range of calories you need. I mean, I'm not the great at the combat in Monster Rancher, so when the loyalty reaches 100, I just have the AI control the monster. That's fine. But there's no way you're worse than the Monster Rancher 1 AI. Not good with touch controls on Steam Deck? Yeah, I can imagine that's hard. But playing with computer controls is a really fun way to play the game. You just got to keep in consideration in Monster Rancher 1, they will attack with, like, as often as they can. Every time they get enough guts to attack, they're going to attack. So when you're, like, grabbing the techniques you want, it's worth keeping that in mind. If you grab something that costs, like, 50 or whatever, but it's not in the furthest back slot, there's a really good chance your monster will never use it. Because as they walk forward, they're going to spend guts, spend guts, spend guts, spend guts, and then as they get close, they probably will never get 50 guts again. So just a thing to keep in mind. That'll make the game a little bit easier. Tough matchups for your guy. You got 5th place. Not too shabby. And, you know, your monster advances to the finals anyway. So, rough matchup. Still did well. And still gets to play in the heavyweight rank C finals. Wouldn't be too opposed to Monster Rancher 6 having the gameplay of 1 or 2, but adding more action and adventure content like the TMS anime. It's kind of what 4 tried. If you play Monster Rancher 4, it's not really my favorite vibe. I like Monster Rancher being kind of a sandbox game. I don't like the narrative element to it too much, but some people do. Monster Rancher anime from the first episode, which I've seen already, grabbed my attention. Yeah. I really like salads, but I hate making them and refuse to spend $15 on lettuce. Yeah, I do too, which is why I've literally never in my life spent $15 on lettuce. Where the hell are you buying lettuce? What are we doing here? What's happening in America? Or maybe you live in like Iceland or something. Anyway, that's 2-0 for Beef Tank. California ass lettuce. They're gentrifying the lettuce, man. What the hell? Oh, at a restaurant? Yeah. No, man, I'm not ordering salad at a restaurant ever. If it's a side, I'll think about it. Alright, top 4. Bat and Bug and Veteran up first. Ain't that America? There's lettuce to see. Veteran. They live in Antarctica? Damn. That would be $15 for a head of lettuce for sure. You gotta start charging more for this lettuce. We're losing so many men on every expedition. Yeah, well, if you can think of a better way to get lettuce, I'd like to hear it. Are they still blockading Cuba? Yeah. We still call it a salad if it has meat in it? Yeah. Steak salad's a thing. I had steak salad the other night. Giant whip, big miss. Dust cloud, big miss. Spiral rush for the crit. Holy man. Spiral rush making big moves today. Grilled chicken salad with hot sauce instead of dressing. Doing like a chicken Caesar salad with hot sauce is goated. If you want the worst of both worlds, it's, you know, salad that's also high calorie. Fries and chicken in her salad? That sounds sick. Shrimp salad with pico and lemon juice? Where I think like tuna salad, shrimp salad, stuff like that is like... It's stretching the definition a little bit. But I do love it. Bat and Bug with the 2-0 over Veteran. Bat and Bug has not lost yet. We got Rise and Grind versus Beef Tank. And then the winner fights Veteran. Beef Tank going crazy today. This is his tournament. You little shrimp on a salad? Oh, I thought you meant, like, you know, shrimp salad. Which is a different thing. Like chicken salad isn't salad with the chicken in it, you know? That's a salad with chicken. Okay. And is ambrosia a salad? The most divisive topic ever on Something Awful, locked after 40,000 forum pages. Did they ever... Is that what... Were the Jell-O things called salads? They're like fucked up Jell-O foods from the 70s? Oh, the body press miss. What did they call them? Other than, like, aberrations. Fruit salad. Fruit salad is, you know... I think fruit salad counts. Gelatin. Ham and banana holidays Jell-O salad. Yeah. You know what's so funny? Some of that shit is probably fine. Like, it's probably not good, but you could probably eat it and be like, I see what they were getting at. This has hints of edible food in it. Like, it's got a vibe. There's like, you know, a scent. Like a wisp. There's food in the ether as you eat it, but like it's not a real thing for sure. Do you mean aspic? No. No, we're talking about fucked up 70s and 60s cuisine, which was people making gelatin foods where they would have like a mold where they would like pour gelatin in, like get Jell-O, like lime Jell-O, and then they put like chunks of ham and pineapple in it and be like, this is food. Inspired. You're going to set aside some time to enter a gel every tourney you guys have coming up? One punny name for each breed of gel? Hell yeah. I think the guy in Fishman Fucks Deaf Chick movie was painting ads for. Oh, Shape of Water? I never watched Shape of Water. If Shape of Water was just like a euphemism for the Jello mold, that's the that's the shape of the water. Oh, I understand the movie now. Sure, Automod. Well, I mean, he said gay guy, and Automod was like, I don't like that, but I don't think that's a big deal. Anyway, did Beef Tank win that? Beef Tank won that, right? Beef Tank's still in it. We started talking about Jello foods, and my fucking YouTube viewership tanked. The abnormalities of Jello dishes from the 50s to 70s were somehow super popular. Were called salads? Okay. They shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake. Beef Tank gonna win that one 2-1. Wasn't the part he cared about? Did you say fucks? Oh, chick. It was probably the word chick. Yeah. Chick is... It's not woke enough for the auto mod. Alright, Veteran and Beef Tank. Funniest part is when you know how gelatin is made. Everyone knows how gelatin is made. You go to the Jello tree. You ask it nicely for its bounty. And then Bill Cosby comes out. And he gives you his pudding pop. His beeswax? Yeah, exactly. You got it. Donnie Darko is the Shape of Water. I don't remember anything about Donnie Darko except for the ending. And the, like, dinner scene. But, like... I remember thinking it was pretentious bullshit as a kid. And all my friends were like, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen. We were like 11 years old or 12 years old. So I think the real response as a 12-year-old is to be, this is the most pretentious bullshit I've ever seen. And to be like, no, this is actually super deep and you just don't get it. They're right. But also, that's performative on their part. They didn't know anything. They didn't know what they were talking about. They just thought, they're like, wow, I don't understand this. I better think it's cool, or people are going to think I'm dumb. And it is cool. It's a good-ass movie. But 12-year-olds are not getting it. No, the bones thing is not a myth. It's made up of bones, cartilage and stuff. Collagen, yeah. Donnie Darko is the Shape of Water during his tripping scene in the party. That's true. I'll take your word for it. I think I remember the scene. I can, from context clues, I can put 2 and 2 together and get what you're talking about, but I don't remember it exactly. Veteran, gonna win it. He's too big. Beef Tank, getting 3rd place. Good for him. It was actually a 2-1. Alright, Bat and Bug and Veteran. We got the rematch. Despite how, like, random Monster Rancher tournaments are, it's really funny how often we have 2 monsters get to winners finals, 1 monster loses, and then it wins again to make it back into grands. Like, that happens all the time. It happened last week, it happened the week before. Seeing Zilla and Baku that deep in bracket brings me joy. We've had Speed Baku win. Has he ever won a tournament? Yeah. Matt Bourne. Matt Bourne won. People can get pretty hung up on food. Like, I was having chicken liver at a place and people thought that was very weird. I mean, I would eat it, but I'm not really big on chicken liver specific, or any liver, really. All right, we're doing a prediction. Our only prediction is Who do you like? You got 1 minute to bet. Do you like Bat and Bug? Do you like Veteran? Let's get it on till the early morn. I've tried most foods like that have been presented to me. I'm not gonna say I've tried most foods. That'd be crazy. But it's very rare I see something I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna eat that. It's happened a couple of times where it's the acquired taste is like, I believe you that you enjoy it and that you like this, but I'm not gonna eat it. Like fish eyes are a thing where it's like, oh, that's the best part. It's like, I'm not eating the fucking eyes, man. I'm sorry. I can go my whole life without eating it. I don't care how good it is. I will be just fine never eating it. Gelatin was entirely ground bones and cartilage. Yeah, exactly. Now it's like 1/4 animal in the US and the rest is artificial. Neat. I don't want to eat stuff that I think is just for novelty. Like the poisonous, the fugu. Fugu me. Right now I'm eating olives. I know a lot hate olives. I don't really like olives. I kind of like them. I like them in like very small doses. Like I can eat an olive. I'll be okay. But as a kid, I hated them. Okay, what do we got on the prediction? 84% on Bat and Bug. Here we go. His best, 3 out of 5. Veteran has to win 2 sets. Okay. On reset point. All right, he walks forward. He's like, I've had enough of this shit. The gust breath. Oh, the crit doesn't kill. Charge gonna miss. Diving press to finish him off. Okay. All right, 33% chance. It was a little bit higher that time because he had more guts than his opponent. We're into the reset. That was a whole set. The diving press misses this time. The kamikaze, Bat and Bug, not going down that easy. Charge miss. He's gotten away from the strategy and he doesn't know what's happening anymore. Now he's losing. Now Bat and Bug's on tournament point. 3-0. Flip it around. Take the thing up, flip it and reverse it. In here, flip. Bat and Bug. That's going to be it. Okay. 3-0, 3-0. One way and the other. If you got a big... Let me search it. Veteran gets the 3-0. Bat and Bug gets the 3-0. What a tournament, man. What the hell? He's just warming up. First set was data. Okay. Bat and Bug and Veteran, 6-1 and 6-2. Wow. And then Beef Tank and Rise and Grind, both 5 and 2. Let's take a look at the standings real quick, and then we'll go raid somebody. I've eaten the eyes of fried off fish, but I couldn't eat them right off the fish like fresh. Yeah. Eh. But like I know people like my sister-in-law loves them. My wife is Chinese, and so the family, you know, surprise is Chinese. And so they've eaten some foods that I'm like I'm not really into, like, but for the most part I'll eat everything. Okay, what am I looking for? I'm looking for this scene. Yeah. Okay, Bat and Bug, Veteran, both with 6 wins. Beef Tank and Rise and Grind, both with 5. And then Hadra and Wii Spinning, and that is the top cut. Those monsters will be fighting in the finals in a couple of weeks' time. Very, very cool. And then Okani Kani Jr., Sweet Summer Adult, just barely missing the cut. Hasaradon, Mr. Sandman, Robot Hot, and the Diamond did well. Hisoka, Korra, Kuro-chan, Miss Muter, 2 Fluid, 2 Fists. We got a win with Power Undine. That's always sick. And then Articuno V2, Claire Farron, Claw Lobber, Deluxo, Ravena. And this first set was nuts, though. Root Beer, Splinter, Bugtimus Prime, El Tigre Loco, Metal Lamer. you know, not doing so hot. But, you know, that's how Monster Rancher do. So, super fun, random Sunday stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We are going to raid someone real quick, and I'm going to go to sleep. And then we'll be back tomorrow with more, with the B rank. Monsters that did a little bit better during the regular season. So, expect a slightly higher power level and more of the same. Who's raiding? Anyone playing Monster Rancher? Who's hanging out with Monster Rancher? Me and Monster Bet. All right. Not much we can do about that. Some Japanese streamers that we rated because they were playing. Oh, Mara's playing. Mara's playing Hades. That'll be fun. All right, let's go raid Mar. What do we raid? Here, let's give him a raid message. Raid boys. There. Copy and paste this shit. We're gonna spam this. By spam it, I mean we'll post it like once each. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy the stream. I will see you tomorrow. Good night, and have a pleasant tomorrow. See ya.